Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you real quick today how to forego the waiting on getting Windows 10. If you've noticed your notification down here in the corner on Windows 7, 8, or 8.1, basically what it is a little Windows icon. Allows you to reserve your copy, quote unquote, of Windows 10. You then have to wait. They're rolling it out in waves. Now, whether they're rolling out in waves to first come, first serve, or to the most stable devices, I'm not quite sure. But basically, I got impatient and, of course, there's almost always a workaround for something. Our workaround today is going to involve Media Creation Tool. Now, a little background real quick for Windows 10. It is free for the first year to any legitimate copy of Windows 7, 8, or 8.1. If for whatever reason you do not like Windows 7, or Windows 10, you can actually come over here and go to Recovery, and for the first month after you upgrade to Windows 10, you can actually straight up revert back to Windows 7 or 8 or 8.1, whichever one you came from. I came from Windows 7 Professional, and so it gave me Windows 10 Professional. So whatever you have, it goes to whatever it has, if that makes any sense. So if you had like a Home Edition of Windows, it's going to give you a Home Edition of Windows 10. If you had a Professional Edition or Enterprise Edition of Windows 10, it will do, or of Windows 7 or 8 or 8.1, it will give you the equivalent in Windows 10. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to download the Windows 10 Media Creation Tool. So you're going to go here to Google. I just pulled up Microsoft Edge. I am still getting a feel for it, but you can open any Windows or any internet browser, Chrome, Opera, Mozilla Firefox, you know, Internet Explorer if you feel the need to use Internet Explorer for whatever reason, and we're going to type in Windows 10 Media Creation Tool. Going to go to the first one here, windows.microsoft.com. Going to open it up, go to download the tool. Now the first thing we're going to notice here is we need to know whether we have a 32-bit version or a 64-bit version. This is also referred to as a 64-bit or 32-bit architecture. Now there's three ways to go about this. The first one involving command prompt. Alright, you're going to need an administrator or a raised level of command prompt, and you're going to type in WMIC space OS space get space OS architecture. If I could freaking type. Alright, there we go. And it's telling us that the OS architecture is of a 64-bit version. Alright, next way is to actually go into your File Explorer, go to your local disk, and if you see a Program Files and a Program Files in parentheses x86, you also have a 64-bit operating system. Next, and this is going to be different than on Windows 10, but basically if you come down to the Start menu here and you left-click and then go over to Computer, right-click, go to Properties, you can actually pull up a similar page to this, and it will show you that you have a 64-bit operating system with an x64-based processor. Now, if you have a x64-based processor, you can actually use a 32-bit operating system. I don't recommend it. Alright. So basically what you do is you need to download the appropriate tool for whichever one you have. So download it from the software page. Once you have it downloaded, see I have the x64 edition. You are going to double click on it. Now don't forget, before you do anything, that you need to back up all your media, clone your hard drive, do whatever you got to do to make sure that you've kind of got your butt covered, just in case something goes wrong. Because the one time you don't make recovery media or back up your data is going to be the time when all heck breaks loose, the computer catches on fire, and your hard drive decides to just implode on itself. One thing I have noticed about the Media Creation Tool in Windows 10 is that it takes literally forever for it to open. So this is going to be a minute. One thing I would also like to say is whatever antivirus software you are running, unless it's Windows Defender, I would highly suggest uninstalling it and then once you've upgraded, reinstalling it. Because it caused my Avast 2015 free edition was causing some issues when I initially upgraded. I have not reinstalled Avast, so I don't know whether reinstalling will bring back some of the issues I was having. It was doing some of the weirdest stuff. I can't even explain it. Sometimes it was causing it to where the start menu and the notification areas were not opening properly, and that was not fun. So basically once I uninstalled that, I actually have had about half the issues, well, a lot less, probably 90% of the issues I was having went away. Other than that, I did notice some funky issues with Google Chrome. I was told if you download the file, the install file, and then act like you're reinstalling it without uninstalling this, which I did, it actually solved most of those issues as well. Another thing I was having issues with is once I did that, it actually fixed some problems I was having with Microsoft Edge. The next thing is, and this is literally still going to take a while to open, is where was I at? Oh yeah. I was having an issue with all of my internet browsers where it was not opening YouTube properly, or Facebook, or anything. That was also solved by the Avast. The next thing is, before we get to this, is that if you're having issues with YouTube going into restricted mode or other parental issues on websites or in general, if you typed in your Microsoft account at any point, it will automatically, if you have not changed the settings for any reason, it will automatically default you to a quote-unquote child account in the family group, so you need to remove yourself and that will automatically make you adult. You have to actually go to Microsoft's website and change the settings there. Anyways, to this. You have two options. You can upgrade this PC now, which is what I did, and that will just straight up download the files to this computer, and it'll allow you to install it. And that's the most straightforward version I can go for. The next one is to create an installation media for another PC. Now what this allows you to do is it allows you to choose your language, which version you want, and what architecture, or you can do both. I chose 64, you can choose whatever. If you're doing a flash drive and you're doing both, you need a 6 GB flash drive. If you need to do an x86 or x64, that will be half that. Using the ISO file, it will basically burn the ISO file to a DVD later. It'll give you an ISO file, which I would recommend using ImageBurn. It is one of the best programs I've ever used for image burning or ISO file burning to a DVD. Then you can burn that file to your DVD later. So basically, that is what you would do if you had a computer where you did not have internet access, and that would allow you to actually upgrade a computer to Windows 10 that doesn't have internet access at the moment, or is not working properly enough to actually allow you to download this, etc., etc., whatever the situation may be. Now, bear in mind that this upgrade isn't instantaneous. It's not like 5 minutes. So if you need your computer for whatever reason, you can't be without it. I would recommend waiting until you have an appropriate time where you can do it, because if something goes wrong, that's even going to extend the time longer. But I didn't have any issues upgrading, and it literally took at least 2 hours for it to upgrade between downloading and actually installing. It was a bare minimum 2 hours. I actually fell asleep for a little bit. So, I'm not quite sure on how long it's going to take you. That might have just been my personal experience. But this media creation tool is very useful if you want to force it to Windows 10. Alright, that's all I have. Peace.